Today, we're going to take this panel and we're going to participate in a panel throwdown with 3 other channels. So, let's get started. First, I would like to thank Lynn and Leana for inviting me to participate in this challenge. You know I love panels and I cannot wait to get started on this one. Now, I'm going to have links below to Lynn's channel, which is Soft Squares, Leana's channel, which is Pastry Queen, and the other person who's participating in this challenge is Di of Sister Chicks. So, I can't wait to see what they do with this panel. But first I need to focus on what I'm going to do with this panel. I went to my stash. Well, hold on. First, Leana not only sent me the panel, she sent me some coordinating fabric. How cute is that? So I can use this. And then I went to my stash and got a few other things out. I actually picked more wood grain, but these are the 2 that I think would look the best. And then I went to Hobby Lobby and I just happened to run across some more fabric that will look excellent with this panel. How cute is that? It's got all the little elements that you would have with chickens and roosters. And then I found that. I have plenty of fabric to get this project started. Let's get going. I have decided that I'm going to cut up this panel into the different frames. We're just going to call them frames. Some of them look like they're in frames. So I'm going to take this pen and I'm going to mark where I want to cut, because I don't want to get into cutting this and then make a mistake that I can't recover from. So I'm going about 1/4 of an inch outside the frame. And here is where I'm going to actually use scissors and not a rotary cutter, because I am afraid that I might get carried away with a rotary cutter. So I'm just going to take the time to cut these guys out. I have all my pieces cut, and like I said, they are all different sizes. What I want to do first is with these that have the corners rounded, I think I want to snowball those corners to make it look like that's the frame around this is also rounded. So let me see about doing that. Now, what fabric do I want to do that with? Do I want to use this fabric because that is what the background is? Then I also have my wood grain fabric. So, dilemma. I think I need a square ruler. I'm going to go with the red for right now. So I need 3.5 inch squares for all 4 of these corners. So that's 4. And then I need 2, actually I think 3 inch squares here. So this is 3.5 and then this is going to be 3. So 2 3 inch squares and 4 3.5 inch squares. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip these over and I am going to draw a line halfway through the center. These are the 3 inch squares. Now I'm going to take this And if you can see, I didn't quite get that the way I wanted it. But that's okay, because these corners are going to disappear. All right, so I'm going to lay this here. I'm going to sew right down that line, but that's going to make that opening perfect. And I'm going to do that on this side. And then on all four corners of this piece. And this is called snowballing. All right, I'll be right back. So I've sewn right on my diagonal line. Now, I'm just going to press, and then I'm going to take my ruler and cut 1/4 inch away from my seam line. I have my snowball corner. I'm going to do that on the other 3 sides of this block, and also on this block. Looks pretty good, huh? And Oliver has joined me. Now, we need to figure out what to do with our blocks. So I've got this 3-inch strip. Let's just do one at a time. And I could definitely put a border of 3 inches all the way around. And I could do that with all of these blocks. They're still going to be different sizes. Once we get done putting the border all the way around, Oliver, you're not helping me, buddy. We could fill in the space with our other fabrics. What do you think? He's like, I'll just go to sleep right here while you're doing this. Okay, just got off the phone with Di. She's on row number 10 of her quilt, so I need to get cracking. As you can see, I've put the red wood grain around each image. And then what I've done is images that were the same size, once I put the frame around them, I've put them on the same row. Now what I'm going to do, and by the way, this technique is called piece as you go. So, in case you were wondering. So I'm going to break out my handy dandy tape measure, and I am going to measure, not the top row, can't reach there yet, from here to here. We're going to say that's 19. And since this is a raw edge, I can make this row 19 inches. This row will be 8, and whatever's between 1/2 and 3/4. So it's, yeah, anyway, 5/8 maybe. Let's see, this one is 13. And that one is 12 1/2. So I need to get on my ladder and measure that. And then I'm going to use this fabric to make the blocks that go in between the framed images. Now I didn't use all of my framed pieces. So I have this one, which is really cute. I like that quilt star. Ooh, I could trim it down. Maybe I'll do that. I'll just have to wait and see. And then this one, which are flowers. This one I think would make a really cute pillow to go along with the quilt. So this is 7.5 and I'm gonna make it 8 because I'm gonna lose a 1/4 inch on this side and a 1/4 inch on this side. So I need to cut 19 by 8. Let's see if it works. I've made lots and lots of progress. So you can see that I have put this fabric in between the different blocks, and I ended up, I just realized, so I used the same fabric for this row and this row. So I have 1, 2, 3 rows with that fabric. So I need to, what do I need to do? Okay, I need to put this here, here, and here. Trim them up. So as you can see, my quilt top is coming together nicely. I used this fabric that I showed you. It ended up that I needed to include another fabric to go in between these blocks. So what I did at the beginning, I showed you 2 different fabrics that I had. I ended up pulling in this one with the chickens and roosters in a toss. And then every other row, I used the different fabric. This guy was a long skinny one. I thought it adds a little interest. And then I will take the chicken wire that Leana sent me and cut borders, and they're 3.5 inches that will go in between each row. So there you have it. Now, will it look like this when I get done sewing it? Who knows? Let me pull this thing together and we'll have a quilt. My quilt top is complete. This turned out to be a pretty big quilt. It is approximately 60 inches wide, and I'm not really sure how long it is. I ended up putting this row on the top and then that row on the bottom. I just liked that better. When I had these two on top of these two, they weren't spread out very much. So I just flipped them and ended up with the order that I wanted. So the chicken wire is in between each row. Each row is different in height. I really like the way it turned out. This looks like something my sister-in-law would like. She likes chickens and roosters and that kind of thing. So I'm very pleased with how it turned out. I do think maybe I would like a small border of the chicken wire around the whole thing. I don't know if I have enough fabric left over. Don't know. I have about this much left over, so it would have to be a skinny border, and I don't know if I have enough. I would have to measure, but I think, I don't know, let me know what you think. I think it would look good, But again, I don't know if I have enough. I'm not sure if I could find more of this either. I will have to ask around. I want to thank Leana and Lynn for inviting me to participate in this wonderful panel challenge. I hope that you will go and check out their channels. I will leave links in the description below. And of course, Di of Sister Chicks, who I'm sure is probably already done with hers long before I got done. She is also participating. There is a chance for you to win a prize or maybe two if you go to the other channels. So check it out. Yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. So if you have a panel that has all different size blocks, let's say, or images, this would be a good way to put it together. Just cut them out, frame them, and then more than likely you're going to have a couple blocks, maybe 3 for a whole row that are approximately the same size. You can always trim down your border if you need to, and then just figure out how much fabric you need in between with your handy dandy tape measure. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Eat some chocolate and be kind to everyone. Until next time, bye. Wait. Leanna's challenge. Leftover.